Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to use a BA2 Plus Texas Instrument calculator to solve a compound interest problem. Let's look at the question. A debt of $15,000 was due a year ago and we want to find the equivalent payment of this debt if it is repaid in 6 months at 11% compounded semi-annually. I'm going to solve it using two different solutions. In the first solution, I will be using the compound interest formula. And in the second solution, I will be using the pre-programmed function keys of the calculator. And then we should see the same answer using both solutions. So let's just start with the first solution. We would like to show this story using a time diagram. That always helps me to organize my thoughts. Let's assume this point is showing the present time. So 12 months ago, we borrowed $15,000. And we want to pay off this amount in one single payment 6 months from now. So we need to find the future value of 15,000 after 18 months, because 12 months ago to 6 months from now is equal to 18 months. So the future value is going to be more than the present value because of the compound interest rate. The formula for compound interest rate is as follows. PV times 1 plus I to power n is the future value, where I is called the periodic interest rate, which is equal to the nominal interest rate divided by m, where J is the nominal interest rate, and that's given in the problem, that's 11%, and m is the number of compounds per year. And since it's a semi-annually compound interest rate, there are going to be 2 compounds per year. So we divide J by m, meaning 11 by 2, that gives us I. And we need to use I in decimal places, not percent. So I is going to be 0.11 divided by 2, which is equal to 0.055. The next parameter is n, the exponent, which is equal to m times number of years in the term. In this term, in this example, we're looking at 12 months ago to 6 months from now. So that's going to be 1.5 years. So m2 times 1.5 is equal to 3. Therefore, the exponent should be 3. Now let's plug in the values into this formula and calculate the future value. Okay, so 15,000 times 1 plus 0.11 over 2 raised to power 2 times 1.5. And it's reduced to 15,000 times 1.055 raised to power 3. If we plug in this in our calculator, it should give us the value of $17,613.62. Now in the second solution, we are going to use the pre-programmed function keys of the BA2 calculator, and that should give us the same answer. Okay, this is the same time diagram, and I just make it smaller to fit in the same page, and I'm going to show the calculator right next to it on the left side. Here's my online version of BA2 Plus. It looks exactly the same as the handheld version. Maybe the colors are a little bit different, and the main keys that we are going to work with are on the third row, which are N, IY, PV, PMT, and FV. I'm going to show you the values that you need to enter for each of these keys, and then we calculate the future value. N is the number of periods. IY is the nominal rate, and we enter it with percent, so you don't need to change it to decimals. PV equals negative 15,000. So you might be thinking, why is it negative while the value is positive? Okay, in this calculator, we enter negative value for PV in order to get a positive value for future value. If we enter positive PV, then future value is going to be negative. So it's just a way to get a positive output. PMT equals 0. PMT stands for the monthly payments, and in this example, we don't have any monthly payments, so we enter 0. FV, that's what we want to calculate. PY and CY, both of them are 2. CY stands for compounds per year, and it's a semi-annually compound interest rate, so it equals to 2. PY stands for payments per year, but there is no payment. In that case, when there's no payment, then it must match with CY. Therefore, PY is also equals 2. And finally, we press CPT FV to find the future value. So now let's enter these values one by one to get the answer. We start by turning on the calculator and then press 3 and then press N. Now as you can see, N equals 3. Then enter 11 and press IY. Next, enter 15,000. Press plus minus to change it to negative and then press PV. Then 0 for PMT. We want to skip FV because we don't have it. For PY and CY, we need to use a second key because they are not on those 5 keys. But if you look closely, you can see PY right above IY. And to activate that, we need to press second and then IY. Now you can see the default value is 12, while we need to change it to 2. So press 2 and then press enter. That's the difference for entering data for PY and CY, because these two are in the second options. Whenever you enter a value for them, next you need to press enter. Now to go to CY, press the arrow up or down, doesn't matter which one, because it's only the 2 of them. Now CY is equal to 2, so that's how it works. When we enter a value for PY, CY will change and will match with the value of PY. Unless you want to have a different value, you can change it. But for now, because both of them are 2, we don't need to change it. Then we exit this window by pressing second and CPT. That actually activates quit and it exits this menu and it goes back to the home menu. Now we need to calculate FV. We already entered all of the other data, and IY, PV, PMT, and CY, PY are entered. Everything is good to go. We just need to press CPT, which stands for compute, and then FV. Here we go. We got $17,613.62, which matches with what we found using the formula. So we found the answer using 2 different solutions. Now it's your turn. In this question, a debt of $16,000 was due 9 months ago. We want to find the equivalent payment of this debt if it is repaid today at 5% compounded quarterly. And you have 4 choices. Make sure to start with a time diagram, and then you can use the compound interest formula, or you can use your pre-programmed function keys on your calculator, or you can actually try both solutions and validate your answers. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Keep practicing, solve this question, and enter your answers in the comments. I will definitely check them out for you. And if you have any questions, don't forget to let me know. Until the next video, keep solving those math problems.